Hey, shalom everyone. I'm Ameer Tsarfati. I'm live from Galilee. Let me try and show you where I'm at right now. There you go. That's the Jezreel Valley. Let me see if I can zoom in. Not sure I can. Anyway, this is it. So, you probably believe me now that I'm here. Anyway, super important news that I think you should be aware of that are quite remarkable. So, over the last 24 hours, we heard two major things. So we heard actually so many important things, and if you really don't follow me on Telegram, you're missing so many things, not only about the Middle East, but also a possible war between two nuclear powers, Pakistan and India. There is a huge crisis over there as a result of a massacre that took place in Kashmir, where almost 30 men were executed by a Muslim group. These were tourists, mostly Hindus. They were visiting that area, and a group of armed militants stopped them and separated the men from their wives. Some of them were on their honeymoon, by the way. And then they separated the Muslims from the Hindus, told the men to take off their pants to make sure that they are who they are. And if you claim to be a Muslim, you went through a test. And if you couldn't recite any Quranic verses, they assumed you're lying. And anyway, they cold-bloodedly executed nearly 30 men. Prime Minister Modi cut short his foreign visit. He actually spoke in a very unlikely manner in English, where he said that he's going to pursue all terrorists and their backers. India is blaming Pakistan for backing those militants because Kashmir is an area that has been disputed between India and Pakistan for the longest time, and it seems like it was something that was inspired by words of a Pakistani military leader that basically threaten all non-Muslims. And so basically, major escalations. You can go to my to my Telegram. There is so much that I report there about what's going on there. So you have to be updated, because this is way bigger and with the potential of a bigger crisis than even the Ukraine war or the Gaza one. Now, having said that, let's move now to remarks that President Trump just gave over the last 24 hours. He said a few things. He said first that he has no problem meeting with Khamenei if he has to, with the leader of Iran. But also he said, look, we don't want to attack Iran, but if we have to, we will do so. And then one of the reporters said, are you afraid that Netanyahu will drag you into war? But by the way, the reason why reporters are asking that is because this is exactly what some of the woke right in America is trying to imply, that Israel is dragging America to war with Iran, which is baloney. I mean, we just tell everyone, let us do the job. We don't need you. The problem so far is that America didn't allow us to attack. But the thing is this. Then Trump answered and said, no, Netanyahu is not going to drag me into a war. And if we think that there is no deal with Iran, I will be leading the pack. That's what Trump said. I'm not going to be led by Netanyahu. I will be leading the pack. That's a huge statement. That means that not only that he understands that this is not an option, but it's actually something that America will do by leading. Now, General Michael Kurilla, the head of CENTCOM, is right now in Israel. And I can tell you that Israel and CENTCOM right now are going through plans to attack the Iranian nuclear sites. Another thing I want you to know, this is super important, is that the airlift of armaments from America to Israel continues non-stop. Now, why am I saying that? Because what America is sending to Israel is predominantly air defense systems, which means America wants to help Israel defending itself from an Iranian attack. Now, why would Iran attack Israel? As a retaliation after an Israeli strike. So that's obviously why. So in other words, the region is already prepared for the aftermath of an attack on Iran. Now, another thing that President Trump just said, and I'll tell you also the bigger picture. He said that he believes that Saudi Arabia will join the Abraham Accords shortly. Trump is about to visit the Middle East next month. He is right now working on securing a gigantic deal, over $100 billion worth of a security pact with the Saudis. And he, for the first time, somehow implied that normalization with Israel is on the table, and that he said he believes without a doubt that Saudi Arabia will be part of the Abraham's Accord. Not only that, he said in other countries as well. Now, let me tell you that a congressman from the U.S. Republican Party named Corey Mills visited the Syrian presidential palace last week and heard from the Syrian president, Ahmed al-Shara, or Abu Muhammad al-Julani, if you remember, the terrorist from Al-Qaeda and ISIS, he heard from him that Syria will join the Abraham Accords if Israel will move back from territories it just took right now. In other words, he's basically not talking about the Golan Heights. He's talking about everything we just took since the regime fell, which means parts of Mount Hermon and, of course, the buffer area. And then he said, and that Israel will stop bombing in Syria, and Israel will keep our territorial unity. Basically, he opened the door for a peace between Syria and Israel without demanding the Golan Heights back. And he opened the door when it comes to an American envoy in Damascus, and that's an American that belongs to the party that acknowledged the Golan Heights as an Israeli territory. Now, I will tell you that the last person Israel should trust is al-Julani and his gang. Al-Julani is determined to fulfill the ideology of the jihadists. He is the one that sat in prison in Iraq. He's the one that had a $10 million bounty on his head. And he's the one that basically was always, since his 20s, for the last 20 years, he was on the spectrum between Al-Qaeda and ISIS. Nothing less than that. Now, these people they vowed to destroy Israel. These are jihadists. Now, if you understand something, jihadists, they have patience. They don't mind waiting 10 years, 5 years, 12 years, 20 years. Hamas waited 16 years until they pulled October 7th. And at some point, They even said that we're no longer interested in destroying Israel. We've changed, blah, blah, blah. It's all baloney. You can never, ever, 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 ever trust a jihadist. Don't trust anyone from the Muslim Brotherhood. Their ideology is very simple. Israel cannot exist. And therefore, I don't see how Israel should go forward with that type of thing. I think Israel should continue controlling Mount Hermon. Israel actually should expand its grip on southern Syria and take care of its interests. But Israel is now allowing Druze to come into Israel to visit their holy site for their coming festival. Israel, I believe, should allow Maronite Christians to come from Lebanon also to the Holy Sepulchre and other Christian holy sites. We should build those bridges between those with whom we want to have peace and relationship. But we should never, ever, ever trust anyone that is affiliated either with ISIS or with Iran, or may I say the Islamic Republic of Iran, because the Iranian people are not our enemies. So we're going to hear about a lot of things in the near future. I believe that the month of May is a month where even in Gaza, it's going to be either release of hostages or a full-blown war where we finish with Hamas. I believe that by the time summer comes, in July comes, this is it. There's no more either or with Gaza. This is it. We're done. So expect something huge. And again, take a look at other places around the world. There's something big has to happen. There is too much tension in too many places around the world. And something huge has to happen that will completely realign everything and bring about some sort of, some peace for a while. So, again, Al-Shara offers to join the Abraham's Accord, but Israel should never trust him. Trump says that Saudi Arabia will join the Abraham Accord. A peace proposal already, there's a draft already of a peace proposal between Ukraine and Russia. It doesn't look good for Ukraine because they're going to de facto lose all the territories that Russia controls right now, including Crimea. But again, it will at least bring an end to this war. And we're talking about something big that is about to happen in Gaza in the coming weeks. Because this is it. Israel understands that if we don't see any movement on the side of Hamas, it's probably time to finish with it. And that's it. But there's a lot of fake news about attempts to release hostages in the last few hours. I believe Israel will try to release the hostages in a military action, but it will do so when it's ready. And as I said, we're going to try and get them whether through a deal or through a military operation. But no matter what, we will do our part. And we will not leave Hamas in power. And we will completely defeat them. That's it. The Houthis are being pounded and decimated. Iran is completely isolated. The Iranian leader gave a speech yesterday. And in his speech, you can read it on Telegram. It's a long explanation that I gave. But in his speech, he basically, in Farsi, he said to the Persians, even if we sign a deal with America, it's just to buy time. It's not to change our goal. Read carefully. Again, I don't know what's going on with Telegram, but make sure you're still subscribed because I think there is some glitch there that took a lot of people off and they are not even aware of it. So go to Amir Tsarfati on Telegram. I've got over 615,000 subscribers. Don't go to any other channel because that's a fake one, okay? And there's a lot of fake channels bearing my name, having my picture, but all they want is your money, basically. They're sending you some messages about crypto and stuff. Just ignore them. But again, the only channel with a blue verification mark and with 615,000 subscribers is mine. That's the only one that is really mine. And follow on Telegram. There's so much that is happening all around the world, but again, especially when it comes to Trump and Saudi Arabia, and when it comes to Syria and stuff that is happening in recent hours, even in Gaza. Again, there's a growing tension, almost war between Pakistan and India. These are two nuclear powers. You cannot overlook these things. So I'll tell you more when there is more to tell you. Until then, Shabbat Shalom. God bless you. And as always, let me tell you, please subscribe to our channel on YouTube, like the video, comment, and share with as many as you can. Last thing I will say is that the IsraelDecree.com, please go pre-order the book. The launch is on May 6th. We want it to be a bestseller, so all the big non-Christian stores will have it. It's small, it's inexpensive. Get as many as you can to your family, to your friends, and to your young generation.